Thank you for joining us. My name is Sharon Kalimbula and this is Camnet News. The top stories: Patriotic Front disowns its LUSAKA province chairman Paul MOONGA for threatening judges. COPPERBELT residents complain of economic hardships. In Northwest United Party for National Development supports a cyber security bill, but with reservations. In international news, teenager killed in Senegal protest clashes. And in sports news, Zambian Cup envoys off to North Africa. Join me shortly for the details.
And bananas. Work and wait, and this what you've been praying for.
Once again, thank you for choosing us. Chairperson for the Organizing Committee of the Declaration of Zambia as a Christian Nation, Bishop Billy Mfula, has expressed concern at the amount of alcohol being consumed and abused by citizens in the Christian nation. Bishop Mfula says it is sad to know that Zambians have now prioritized alcohol consumption at the expense of growing the economy. Last week, the Irish government, in a statement, ranked Zambia as a leading country of its alcohol brand called Irish Jameson. Details on this.
The Eurometer Report 2018 ranked Zambia as a country with the highest per capita consumption of alcohol in the region. As if that is not enough, Zambia, which is a Christian nation, made headlines for being the perfect market for Irish whiskey. The Irish whiskey has increased its sales across Africa from 716,000 cases to 8.6 million bottles, representing 177% sales increment since 2010. However, Zambia is said to be consuming about 10% of the total sales in Africa, making Zambia the #1 breakthrough market for Irish whiskey or Jameson sales over the past decades. This means that Zambia is consuming more imported Irish whiskey more than any other country in Africa. And that is besides the illicit alcohol brands that have flooded the local market. And chairperson of the Organizing Committee of the Declaration of Zambia as a Christian Nation, Bishop Mfula, is disappointed that alcohol consumption has continued to escalate in the country, thus corrupting morals among citizens, adding that it is behind some bad vices happening in the country.
First, the parents out there, let's be good examples. How can your children be seeing you as a father going to drink and tomorrow you want to tell them not to drink? How can your children see you as their mother going to drink and tomorrow you want to tell your daughters that alcohol is bad? It's important that we begin to take responsibility as parents. Let's not be distant with our children. Let's sit with them and know what is going on in their lives, and let us become the first leader that our children can get to look at.
He has also implored government leaders to play a part in addressing alcohol abuse, which he said is affecting Zambia's social and economic development.
As well, who are taking life into alcohol, that as well makes the nation stagger. If a leader is drunk and staggering, the nation will stagger as well. We can't live life that way. So if you are a leader, be that example. Parents, do your part. And us as church, let's make sure that we also get to help the community, help the people yes, in making sure that their lives are really transformed. And also, as a Christian country, I think we need to relook at our policies as well around this same alcohol abuse that tends to be.
He is concerned over the mushrooming of bars in communities as opposed to libraries.
Can't we learn? Yeah, why can't we learn? In the US, you discover that every suburb, every community has a library. Some nations are structured like that. How can we be having drinking places everywhere? Yes, everywhere, selling the cheapest liquor to the most expensive and making this accessible to everyone? We are staggering the country, and we can't live like that.
Patrick Soko, Camnet News.
Random interviews in the Copperbelt have revealed that residents in the province have not been spared from the harsh realities of the economy. The residents, ranging from street vendors and ordinary citizens, have complained that over the ever-increasing prices of goods in the province, while calling on government to find means of ending their sufferings. Details on this.
The impact of the social and economic challenges seem to take toll on most Zambians.
Right now, to be honest, the economy in Zambia is bad. It can never even take a scientist to tell that the things are bad in Zambia. But to be factual and to be candid, things are bad in Zambia. Look at the skyrocketing of the commodities. Look at the dollar, how it is faring with the kwacha. Look at the price of fuel. This is telling us that things are bad in Zambia, and we are appealing to the government to address these issues before it's too late. And what is surprising is that while things are bad in Zambia, while people are wallowing in poverty, suddenly we have just seen how the cadres and the PF officials, how they have become rich, how they are showing off their monies on social media.
Abantu balechula mu kyalo kya Zambia. Akale kwale bati nga 700 kwacha. Utu washita mu efintu mwakwata n'okulya efyaku. Nomba ino shitate juste muli 100 kwacha kutu washita mu felimbyana eshiyaku. N'okupwa yapwa. Nga wayamu Shoprite na 1000 kwacha wala muleka kwatu sendera 100 kwacha. Icho ekirangiro kyako bati economy ya kyalo kya Zambia tayiri bulungi. Ifintu na filubana mu kyalo kyesu kya Zambia mulando wakubati nga walolekesha na bashitata bene fye baleleto ebaleleta n'obusesana obulanda ngafuma kunganda olukyelo ayisa mu tawuni alexavye ngaya pa stand big pa kona palya aleberenga ma newspaper ngafuma palya alayaberenge kona ya pa Shoprite ngafuma pa Shoprite alayaberenge newspaper nomba pala pa city ngafuma palya alayaberenge pa Barclays Bank mpaka obushuku bwaira.
Random interviews with residents of various districts on the Copperbelt clearly shows that they are not spared. The interviews were conducted in Ndola, Kitwe, Kalulushi and Chingola.
The economy has become harsh and very, very challenging. Very challenging in the sense that the price of minimum, the price of cooking, the price of bread, rice, the whole household feeds, the food basket, so to say, short, is beyond the reach of the common man. It is very difficult to afford. People are failing to afford to buy these essential commodities. So inflation has gone up. It's very, very challenging. It's not pleasant.
And what is coming out is just the same. While the majority of Zambians feel hard hit with the economy, with the prices of essential food prices going up on a daily basis, some political cadres seem to be spared as they are publicly seen displaying huge sums of money on social media. These cadres, according to the Vice President, Inonge Wina, she says these could be the opposition and not Patriotic Front cadres. Kalan Muchima reporting for Camnet News.
An agriculture expert has challenged farmers in Kalumbila district to diversify and take farming as a business through growing high-value crops. Kalumbila Minerals Limited Agriculture Officer Shemonya Nachileme says the mining company is encouraging farmers to grow high-value crops to improve their livelihoods and sustain their food security in the area. Mr. Nachileme was speaking during the Agriculture Conservation Farming Field Day organized by Trident Foundation, working with Kansanshi Foundation and the Ministry of Agriculture, held in Kalumbila district. And one of the farmers, Betty Lombanya, thanked the mine working with other partners for the new farming technology knowledge they have acquired through extension services in the area. Details in this report from Krivat Chituta of NICE.
They have held a successful field day under the new normal health guidelines. These are farmers from Kalumbila mine catchment areas. The mining company, working with the Ministry of Agriculture, are encouraging farmers to adopt conservation farming and grow high-value crops as part of agriculture diversification.
We are looking at food security. We are also looking at increased income at household level by farmers. This is going to be achieved if farmers are going to do farming as a business in an organized manner. We have learned enough for us to go and revisit our fields, our gardens. The dream of the company is to see a group of farmers loading farm produce from here to Kasumbalesa on their own because they're able to stand and produce.
Farmers are motivated with the support.
Asante vingi pakuya kuona kufunda kupitira muji wa Kalumbila Trident Foundation. Mwane na asanta nafunjira ko yavura. Mwane paiye myaka yapa nyuma twakufunda ngato kuzima matabatu. Pano kuno twasanta twafunda kuzima byavura.
Agricultural officers from Ministry of Agriculture, Trident and Kansanshi Foundation also participated at the field day.
Our primary goal is to bring about sustainability even in the absence of the mine. So as TFL, we are here to support our farmers, to give them the opportunity to take advantage of the mine, to take advantage of the support coming from TFL.
Vision ya government ni to support an efficient and export-led farming sector. So government ya sakirirana ni kutia kuwa hakumona ma companies na institutions neva Trident Foundation ana kutukwa shako mukutangisha anjimi.
Nikawa kura kujima bukankutara. Nemi tundaika mubyambo bicheche kwamba mbatai komana kubunjimi.
Field days play a critical role in farmers' life through exchanging new farming technologies to improve their agriculture production. Krivach Tuta, reporting in Kalumbila District, Northwestern Province.
The opposition United Party for National Development, UPND, in Northwestern Province says the cyber security bill before Parliament is not a bad law. Northwestern Province Chairman Grandson Katambi says the bill is a security measure found in most countries in the world, stating that his party is only concerned with its implementation once it becomes law. Colonel Katambi explains that many times when a law is being introduced in the country, it is always clear that it is intended to persecute political opponents. According to him, the bill may be intended to persecute the opposition, particularly his party, President Hakainde Hichilema. Colonel Katambi says whatever the intentions are over the bill, those championing it must know that the same laws being enacted to persecute others will be used against them once they are on the other side. The bill on Thursday went through second reading and is now at committee stage with resumption of debate coming up on Tuesday this week.
This cyber, soto, whatever you call it, you can give it any name. It is found everywhere. It doesn't segregate. It is a security feature to assist those who have entrusted with security to monitor, okay, what is going on. The good ones, they will leave. The bad ones, they will move in to correct the situation. That's how I understand it. And it has been there, even during Kaunda days. But now, them, since it has already gone through reading, or second reading, and eventually to pass, you hear how many oppositions will be arrested as against their own people. This cyber thing is not for the country. It's for everybody. Now I'll tell you, God is great. Nzambe azali mukonzi abantu bose. Zambia azali mukonzi. Is great. Is great. Tomorrow they will leave that office, and we shall put him on the other side, on the receiving side, and we shall use the same cyber laws against them. So it's bad. You cannot run a country like that. It's a question. It's not a bad thing at all. I stand to be corrected, but it's the application which is bad in Zambia.
Water Development, Sanitation and Environmental Protection Minister Raphael Nakachinda has assured the people of Kafue that have been affected by lack of water that his ministry is working on ending their cries. Mr. Nakachinda has informed the residents in the affected areas that government will deal with the water challenges using the phase 2 of the Kafue bulk water supply project. The minister is concerned that despite the area hosting the Kafue River, which supplies water to Lusaka, people in the area are still facing water challenges. He says in the next few weeks, through the office of the district commissioner, government will undertake some projects that will respond to the immediate needs of the people while waiting for a permanent solution. The minister reiterates that President Edgar Lungu's desire is to ensure that all Zambians access clean, safe water. The minister was speaking when he graced the Mothering Sunday in commemoration of Women's Day, which falls tomorrow at the United Church of Zambia Bethlehem Congregation in Kafue Consistory in Salobon Compound.
Was that we have Kafue River, which is supplying water to Lusaka, but the people of Kafue are challenged with water. So the little time that I have as Minister of Water Development will ensure that through the Kafue bulk water project, particularly phase 2, we deal with the water problem in Kafue. We should celebrate His Excellency the President, who has recognized the power of women and being the first president to appoint the first female vice president in her honor, Madam Inonga Wina. Women have the power to transform society if given a chance. And when we have occasions of this nature where we're celebrating our women, I think all of us must realize that when we give a woman an opportunity, society will definitely transform. You give a woman a seed, she will incubate that seed and give you a baby. You give a woman groceries, you transform those groceries and give you a meal. You give a woman a house, you transform that house into a home. Actually, any organization that has women has the potential to be sustained. So whether it is a church, whether it is a political party, any organization where women are in the majority, there is a future in that organization.
And speaking earlier, Congregation Vice Secretary Ruth Mutambo indicated that they have embarked on a self-help village banking program with a view to empower other women. Meanwhile, Minister in charge Dyson Goma urged politicians to coexist, preach peace and love as the country heads towards the polls in August.
Let us ensure that there is peace in 2021. We will not allow any form of violence, one against another. We want to ensure that we have peaceful elections and afterwards.
We have already seen infrastructure is one of the challenges this congregation is facing. Last year we embarked on our building fundraising to finish the ablution block and new doors for the church. For this reason, women last year joined other groups and sections to raise funds of the ablution block for it to be where it is today.
Government has released 1 million kwacha towards the relocation of households affected by floods in Chawama and Kanyama compounds of Lusaka district. Disaster Management and Mitigation Unit DMMU National Coordinator Chandakabwe disclosed this when he undertook an on-spot check of the flooded communities in Chawama compound. Ms. Sakawe, who described the situation as desperate, says government has seen the need to relocate the people until the problem is resolved. He says the identified households will either be rented more habitable houses or moved into transitory camps for the next 3 months. This is to ensure that their lives and property are protected. And Ms. Sakawe says the DMMU has engaged the Zambian National Service to work on the drainage system as a permanent solution to flood problems in the area. He further advised members of the public not to settle in flood-prone areas to avoid such calamities, as the rains will be getting intense owing to the issues of climate change and variability.
The initial 1 million kwacha has been set aside to try and relocate the people on a temporal basis for 3 months who are funded here. So the Minister of Finance has released that 1 million which we have in our account. So as soon as the 300 houses are identified here, we should be able to move the 300 families in those houses within this area. If we fail, we'll move them into the transit camps. Although the camps are more expensive than renting, because we need to provide a lot of services when you have a transit camp, especially that the number is quite huge. If you are talking about 100 people or 20 people, it's easier to maintain within those transit camps. But 300 and above is cheaper to rent for 3 months for the people and provide food for them. So 1 million, initial 1 million has been already provided for, and the moment these houses are identified, already the team was on the ground to ensure that those houses are identified, the people will start moving and the government will pay. So His Excellency the President is very committed to ensure that the people are supported. So we have our teams already and cooperating development partners that work with, such as the UN system, the Red Cross, that are already on the ground to ensure that the safety of our people is here. The Ministry of Health and the local authority are also providing the public health to ensure that our people here are supported in that manner.
The Media Network on Child Rights and Development has joined the Global Village in commemorating the International Day of Children's Broadcasting under the theme Ending Violence Against Children Through the Media. Organization Executive Director Henry Kawe says the media plays a pivotal role in ensuring that people's rights are realized, for justice should not just be done but should be seen. He adds that the media has liberated struggling freedom fighters and has held leaders accountable, noting that as a fourth estate, the media can set the developmental agenda that can transform nations, including Zambia. Ms. Sakawe has since appealed to all political players to ensure that they engage on matters of importance, especially children's rights. Meanwhile, the Godfrida Broadcasting Academy Chief Executive Officer Godfrida Chanda says this year's Children's Day of Broadcasting theme can only be actualized if children are given fair share in the media fraternity to educate, sensitize and share their views on their rights, not only on the International Day of Children's Day Broadcasting. Interesting. You're watching Camnet News just now. We'll take a break. Join me shortly for more interesting stories.
Dr. Bigron, musaibala komutienda ukuni gift na land. Uchenkubeti uibise mojo basayone. Oh! Mwina moshi, nakuletera njinga. Latest ina reverse gear na mawaipa.
Difficult, chidi ya shidi ya njinga. Liamu 19 pendefcon. Transport, we got it.
Nanga phone for communication. Ipu sana chizungu. Yeah, you see what I mean?
It's a Camnet, difficult.
It's communication. We got it. Indemo me! Powerful system ndimba ndimba. X-Buzz.
Mufumile kukalale. Na mnaimo muli bakumushi. We got it. Yo Bigron, utole no leta nchemfule mungani. Get your watch post and change. 1, 2, 3. Both of you. Kabala ngempang. Don't be stupid. We got it.
You know I can take her a bit.
Yes, my dear.
I was thinking of getting you a Bugatti on your birthday.
Really?
I'm quiet. My name is Yana.
Don't worry, man. That's why there is insurance.
Insurance?
You heard me.
Not just any kind of insurance, but Savenda General Insurance, a company that offers superior customer service, highly professional and dedicated staff. We are not just any insurance company, but an insurance company that actually pays our claims. We cover, among others, fire, marine, aviation, engineering, agriculture, motor vehicle, and miscellaneous insurance. So, live life to the full, knowing that Savenda General Insurance has got you covered. Savenda General Insurance. Insurance excellence.
And why do you look so pale and busy scratching yourself?
Well, Amwandi, you know my skin is very sensitive. I've tried all the skin products and nothing seems to work.
Have you tried Oracle Pure Glycerin?
Oracle Pure Glycerin? What's that?
Just give me a minute.
Oracle Pure Glycerin gives your skin a youthful and healthy glow.
Ish, you're glowing. Don't tell me.
Yes!
I already know the secrets.
Oracle Pure Glycerin!
Try Oracle Pure Glycerin for that perfect skin.
Hello, I'm Deborah Lukalu, all the way from South Africa. You are watching Camnet channel, not just another channel. God bless you. Stay tuned.
This is Camnet News. Thank you so much for staying on. The ruling Patriotic Front has disowned remarks issued by Lusaka Province Chairman Paul Moonga, who on Friday warned Zambian judges that the PF was watching them over possibilities of them being bribed by the opposition for them to disqualify President Edgar Lungu from appearing on the ballot in 2021 general elections. PF Deputy Secretary General Mombi Piri says the remarks issued by Mr. Moonga are not in any way the party's position, but his own personal opinions. Mrs. Piri says the PF upholds a separation of powers and respects the rule of law and does not tolerate statements that have the potential to undermine the judiciary and cause anarchy in the country. At a media briefing, Mr. Moonga announced that the party's intelligence had picked up a scheme by judges who are conniving with the opposition by getting huge sums of money with a view of declaring President Edgar Lungu not eligible to be president. In his own words, Mr. Moonga warned the judges, saying the eyes of the Patriotic Front are watching them at a return.
Views by Patriotic Front Lusaka Province Chairman Paul Moonga do not represent the stance taken by the party, as he claimed that opposition political parties in the country are scheming to bribe judges with huge sums of money in order to disqualify President Edgar Lungu ahead of the polls, according to Party Deputy Secretary General Mombi Piri. Mr. Moonga had weighed in on the issue of President Edgar Lungu's eligibility to contest the general elections. The bone of contention has been that President Edgar Lungu only served one full term while he completed the other one on behalf of late President Michael Sata, and hence that did not constitute a full term. Meanwhile, lawyer John Sangwa and PF aspiring presidential candidate Kelvin Fube, commonly known as KBF, made it clear that President Edgar Lungu is not eligible to contest the 2021 general elections because he has been sworn in twice, and Mr. Sangwa is on record saying that once President Edgar Lungu files in his nomination, he will challenge his eligibility. And Paul Moonga accused the opposition political parties of planning to bribe judges so that they can disqualify President Edgar Lungu ahead of the August 12 general elections.
But not all judges give the same.
believing that made by some few judges, nullify the credibility of our candidates. That's their focus. So put your money to play the party. They are busy putting money to see whom they can corrupt and judge to nullify our president. We are very much alive, we are aware, and we are watching all the judges in Zambia. Kindly don't fall prey to these monsters who have no man manifest for this country. Don't fall prey to these monsters who have no agenda for Zambia, whose agenda is simply to become the president of Zambia. At any cost.
This statement by Mr. Moonga attracted condemnation from a cross-section of society as it borders on intimidating the judiciary and disregards the adherence of rule of law and upholding the separation of powers. But Patriotic Front Deputy Secretary General Mumbipiri says the statement by Mr. Moonga does not represent the position of the party.
As a party in power, we shall not allow any attacks on the judiciary or statements that have the potential to create or indeed promote anarchy and denounce constitutionalism in our country. We wish to guide our party structures to seek guidance on matters that may have a negative bearing on the institutions of governance. Therefore, the statement attributed to our LUSAKA Provincial Chairman, Mr. Paul Moonga, is not only misleading, but fell short of the blessings from the party leadership.
Patrick Soko, Camnet News, Lusaka.
The newly appointed UPND chairperson for local government and housing, Newton Samakai, has charged that the governing Patriotic Front has failed adequately to implement the national decentralization policy despite committing to the process. Mr. Samakai says the decentralization is crucial in the creation of reliable administration needed to improve service delivery and include communities in the development process. Speaking during a media briefing in Lusaka Sunday, Mr. Samakai accused the PF administration of lamentably failing to deliver services needed by communities because they have ignored local government. He says decentralization brings along communities in the decision-making process, and this is the reason why the UPND will speed up the policy and fully implement it. Mr. Samakai further says it is laughable that the PF was equating the few flyover bridges that have been sprung across the country to the development that more than 50,000 teachers.
The modern arrangement in terms of managing public affairs is that you need to carry everyone in the decision making for service delivery and development. And that is why decentralization has taken root all over the world, because a person in Mwinulunga, in Shangombo, in Kawambwa must decide on the issues that are challenging them and allocate resources to those issues so that they can resolve those difficulties that they have. The moment we begin doing that, we would be closer to achieving what we call development. There is no development that PF is boasting about. The issue is what is development. I think we need to understand what development is. Putting up these flyover bridges in Makeni, in East Park and Munadi is just an administrative, removing the cogs in the administration process.
Dola Central Patriotic Front aspiring Member of Parliament Wezi Msichilima has commended President Edgar Lungu's social cash transfer programs being administered at the aged across the country. Ms. Musichilima says it is important that all well-meaning Zambians supplement government's effort in taking care of senior citizens. She said this when she donated assorted food items, COVID-19 materials, to Mitanda Home for the Aged in Dola. And Mitanda Home for the Aged Acting Center Manager, Captain Austin Mambo, says helping the needy is godly. Captain Mambo thanked Ms. Musichilima for spending time with the elderly, especially this time of the year. And one of the mothers, Esther Katambe, says the presence came at the right time because no one expects such gestures.
For the Bible says, respect your mother and your father so that it may go well with you. I want to say this to my parents, that I'll be coming from time to time to come and gain wisdom from them.
And today I'm very happy to hear that this team have come from our president, His Excellency, and we are so happy. And we want one day our president, as he comes to COPPERBELT, we are appealing that for just 20 minutes to come and see the order. These men and women, we want also our president to come and tap the blessings from this. I know that when you come here, you will be blessed to this man.
Awe tuleleta fyo kutotera okukalamba sana. Nileta mletulolesha batire ekibemba kyakira. Yakula yonka mu mwana. Ifenga tatule yonka mulimo tukonka kwi. Imwele ni mumwa kutulolesha hapo. Ifine mwatulolesha hapo. Mwitulava muletu ikushenjita yonse.
The Free Press Initiative Zambia has called for equal representation of women in all decision-making positions. Speaking ahead of the commemoration of the International Women's Day under the theme Women in Leadership, Achieving an Equal Future in a COVID-19 World, FPI Zambia founder Joanne Chira notes that women are the majority in the world, but very few are in decision-making positions. Ms. Chira says there is great acceptance that women bring different skills and experiences to the table and make contributions to decisions, laws and policies that benefit everyone, and that it is why they should be included in leadership positions. She says women are more than able to achieve true equality when men share with them the responsibility of bringing up the next generation. Ms. Chira has meanwhile commended political parties that are appointing women in top leadership positions.
We believe that we still are far from achieving what needs to be achieved in terms of women representation. But our hope is that come August 12th, that scenario is going to change. We're going to see a lot of women being adopted by these respective political parties that they represent. And also we are hoping that a lot of people will have confidence to vote for our women, because we know that a lot of them have got the capabilities. But all we need to do is to put the trust in them, because they are capable. Just what the men can do, the women can equally do. And to top it up, I would probably say women can even do it much, much better. So we are at a stage where now women need to be trusted and given all these responsibilities that have been given to men previously. When you look at the challenges that we have around, women have been affected terribly by COVID-19 and they've not been spared, but we see their resilience to do whatever they can to still provide for the families, to still take care of the children, and also to handle their jobs. So we really need to applaud the women that have been there fighting day in, day out to get the space that they need, either on the political scene and also in the social sphere. It is time that we stood up for the woman, and it's time for us to give them the power that they need. Because of that realization that women are mostly pushed aside and not given the responsibilities that they need to handle in these decision-making positions, the Free Press Initiative has come up with a project where
Meanwhile, the Federation of Free Trade Unions of Zambia has urged the government and employers to be providing women with 3 sanitary towels at their workplaces. FFTUZ National Women's Committee Chairperson Charity Tembo says employers must also start putting in place waste incinerators in order to dignify women. Ms. Tembo says women are major stakeholders in development and must be embraced in all sectors of the economy. She has underscored the need for women to get together and foster empowerment opportunities.
But of course, if the policies are revisited, or should we say they are amended, they will embrace everyone and everyone will be on course. The TCLC must also pronounce itself on the need for employers to provide sanitary towels for women at the place of work as a matter of workplace policy. Today, I think, as FFTUZ Women's Committee, we would be on record true to say the government has, of course, managed with other stakeholders to give out sanitary towels to this girl child. And the reason behind that is all about retention and, of course, encouraging decency when that day comes in a girl child. Government has managed, of course, to distribute sanitary towels, and girls today, they don't shun classes because they are in the comfort zone. But then we are also saying and appealing to our able government to say this should also should be a replica in workplaces, not only providing sanitary towels, but of course even the issue of bringing on board the incinerators. Here we are trying to look at the decency. A woman is, I would say, a decent creature, and in this case, decency should continue to the latter. So if that came on board with other stakeholders that are in this, I'm sure we'll be running our affairs in a dignified manner.
An early intervention of grading of roads in Chilanga constituency by an aspiring member of parliament has saved more critical roads in the area from total destruction as witnessed in other areas. Prior to the 2020-2021 rainy season, Ms. Clara Muyunda, who is aspiring MP on the opposition United Party for National Development UPND ticket, embarked on the upgrading and elevation of roads in the constituency. Details in this.
The rain season has its own positives and negatives. Well, it is the rains that make our food grow, hence enhancing the country's food security for the well-being of its citizens. However, this season also brings with it its own challenges. Some of the challenges include the washing away of bridges as well as making our roads impassable, especially gravel ones. Most roads in various constituencies are currently hard hit, with people having challenges to move from one point to the other. While Chilanga constituency is facing similar challenges, the situation is not as bad as it is in other areas. This is because, before the rains started, Chilanga constituency aspiring member of parliament under the opposition UPND ticket Clara Muyunda embarked on the grading of critical roads in the constituency so as to save them under heavy rains. The scope of works included raising the roads up to ensure that water had where to pass whenever it rained while sparing the upper road. Ms. Muyunda graded about 60 kilometers of roads in the constituency, among them the critical Mwembeshi, Nampunde Road and the Mwembeshi-Mpamba Road. Today, this is the current state of the Mwembeshi-Nampunde Road. While most roads elsewhere have completely given up, this road, even under heavy downpour, it is still serving its purpose. Kalan Muchima reporting for Camnet News in Chilanga.
Zambia has recorded 7 deaths arising from the COVID-19 pandemic in the last 24 hours, bringing the cumulative number of COVID-19 deaths to 1,124. The country has also recorded 410 new positive cases in the last 24 hours, bringing the cumulative total to 82,421 cases. Meanwhile, the commuter rights advocate Liswaniso Mwanalushi has called on authorities to increase the levels of fumigating public places and public vehicles as they pose risks in spreading the COVID-19 pandemic. The Commuter magazine team leader is disappointed that overloading in public service vehicles has continued, with the authorities paying a blind eye amid the COVID-19 pandemic.
That's a challenge which the responsible agencies, the Ministry of Transport, the Ministry of Health, they need to come up with a good plan, because it's a challenge practicing social distancing in a bus. So we are calling on the government through the Ministry of Health to increase the levels of sanitizing, fumigating the bus stations, the buses, the people sanitizing hands, just the cleaning of the buses. You know, it's a challenge. Money, you see in a bus when the conductor is asking for money. So the money will exchange hands. So you need to be careful. So here the conductor is the person who's more at risk, because he's the one who keeps the money and whatnot. But again, it goes to the company where they do the cashing. So we need to be careful. It's not just shaking hands or covering the face that coronavirus will not attach us. There are so many ways. The surfaces, even in the toilet, when you that flashing device, we are not sanitizing that. The door handles, we are not sanitizing them. The chairs, everywhere.
You're watching Camnet News. We take another break. Join me shortly for international and sports news.
From time immemorial, we have had different types of lighting options, from those that can burn down our investments in minutes to those that dig holes in our pockets due to constant replacement and huge consumption of our ZESCO units. Savenda Electric introduces the new and advanced electric bulb with cutting-edge technology of LED that has low power consumption, gives out bright white light, and lasts up to 25,000 hours. Savenda Electric manufactures all types of LED light, like plastic LED fluorescent tubes, down lights, ceiling lights, outdoor fittings, and solar street lights made to customer specifications. Let's live on the bright side of life by choosing the wide range of Savenda electric lighting solutions that are available in all leading stores and supermarkets countrywide. For orders, call 0962 642 490 or email jnbunda@savenda.com or pchabula@savenda.com.
Super cereal. Super cereal.
Super cereal. We always start our day with nutritious super cereal. It's so easy to make. Just add hot water or milk. Fortified with essential vitamins, gives you energy and keeps you alert. Super cereal is so good for you. Comes in 3 yummy flavors: original, banana, and strawberry, and tastes so good.
Easy Super Cereal is made from non-GMO maize and soya and is good for the whole family. Found in all leading stores. Quick and easy.
Tastes delicious. Full of goodness.
Makes you stronger.
Super cereal.
Easy Super Cereal. Brought to you by Java Foods.
Hello, I'm Deborah Lukalu, all the way from South Africa. You are watching Camnet channel, not just another channel. God bless you. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. We now look at international news. A teenage student has become the 5th person known to have died in Senegal protests that followed the arrest of opposition leader Ousmane Sonko on Wednesday. He was killed on Saturday in clashes between demonstrators and security forces in the southern city of Diobe. Protesters had tried to burn down official buildings in the city. Mr. Sonko appeared in court on Friday, accused of disrupting public order. He also faces a rape allegation. He denies the allegations, and his supporters say the accusations are politically motivated. On Friday, following violence in the capital Dakar and elsewhere, Interior Minister Antoine Felix vowed to use all the means necessary for the return of order. Speaking on national TV, Mr. Diome accused Mr. Sonko of issuing calls to violence. We now go straight into sports news. In sports news, Zambian envoys in the CAF Confederation Cup group stage, NAPSA Stars and Ghana are off to North Africa for their respective first leg ties in Africa's second tier competition. NAPSA Stars will be away to Bakine of Morocco, while Ghana plays Pyramids of Egypt. Both sides will be in action on Wednesday before the next round on March 17, 2021, when Ghana hosts Raja Casablanca, while NAPSA Stars will be at home with JS Kabylie. NAPSA Stars is in Group B alongside Bakane and Cotton Sport Cameroon. Ghana are in Group D with Pyramids FC. The two flag carriers negotiated a rigorous qualification process to maintain Zambian representation in the continental competition. Well, that sporting item ends our news tonight, but before we go, let's just look at the headlines once again. The Patriotic Front disowns its Lusaka province chairman, Paul MOONGA, for threatening judges. COPPERBELT residents complain of economic hardships. In Northwestern, UPND supports cyber security bill with reservations. In international news, teenager killed in Senegal protest clashes. And in sports news, Zambian CAF envoys off to North Africa. We now look at the Camnet verse for the day, and it's coming from 1 Peter verse 4 to chapter 4 verse 8 to 9, and it reads, "Above all, maintain an intense love for each other, since love covers a multitude of sins. Be hospitable to one another without complaining." Well, thank you so much for joining us on the news desk tonight. My name is Sharon Kalimbola. Good night and stay blessed.